What does diabetes in the eye look like? My name is Dr. Blackwelder. I'm an eye doctor practicing in Austin, Texas. And if you've been following along for the last few days, I am taking you along a tour of the retina, showing you different conditions that we see in the eyes. I'm honestly so freaking excited that you guys are just as interested as me at looking at different conditions of the retina. I went through all of the comments on my recent post asking you guys what you wanted to see, and they're all different conditions. So I'm going to try to get to as many of them as I can. Today, we're going to tackle diabetes. I'm just going to show you guys the basics of what happens in diabetes, and this is the same for both type 1 and type 2. So early stages of diabetes looks like this, and upon first glance, you're like, I don't really see anything. But if I take you guys closer, you can actually see these small red dots at the end of the white arrows that indicate earliest signs of diabetes. This we can actually see occasionally before you even know that you have diabetes. As it progresses without treatment of your diabetes and with uncontrolled blood sugar, we start to see these little white, almost like tufts of cloud in your retina. These are actually called cotton wool spots. Once we see these, it's definitely a sign of ischemic retina, and what that means is it's not getting enough oxygen and blood flow. As it progresses, we start to see more hemorrhages and more cotton wool spots. Right in the center here at the fovea, this is likely fluid in the fovea here. That fluid results in separation of the retinal layers and results in distorted vision. So you might not even notice anything's happening until it gets to your central vision and you start to have swelling there. Once it gets to a more severe stage, you will have hemorrhaging all around the retina like this, in addition to cotton wool spots, the fluid in the central vision. And where it gets really scary is when the retina starts to grow new blood vessels like this right here. These little fine vessels that are actually kind of hard to see, those are not supposed to be there. As the retina is being deprived of blood flow and oxygen, it starts to send out a signal that says, hey, hello, pay attention to me. I'm suffocating. I'm dying here. That signal is a growth factor called VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor, and it's what causes these new blood vessels to grow. The problem is these are very fine and weak, and they break very easily. Once these blood vessels burst like this, we're in trouble. The bleeding can cause serious obstructions of your vision. It's much harder to treat at this stage compared to one of the earlier stages. And without treatment or intervention and control of your blood sugar, it can eventually result in fibrotic tissue or scar tissue forming in the retina that will eventually contract. If you can imagine all this scar tissue contracting like this, and basically what that contraction does is it causes a retinal detachment. At this stage is where blindness is imminent. Remember our first picture, this is why it's really important to intervene at this stage and catch diabetes early and treat it before it ever gets worse.